Hey, good morning, Journey. How's everybody doing today? So this is a great time change Sunday. So each of you should have gotten an extra hour of sleep this morning. So this is your drive-in with Pastor Mark this morning. I love to take time each Sunday morning as I'm driving into church to begin to reflect on some things in Scripture and some words and phrases and things that I can help flesh out for you in the Bible. I'm really excited for today where we're at in our study on 1 Peter because we're actually starting chapter 3 of 1 Peter, which talks about the marriage. So whether you're married or not, or you're single, or you've struggled in relationships, or wherever you're at on that spectrum, there's something for you this morning in 1 Peter. And so I encourage you to come or stream live with us this morning as we flesh out what it looks like to have a biblical marriage in today's world and climate. So with that theme going on, I want to speak about the one flesh union that we have in marriage. So if you look back to Genesis chapter 2, where God said, it was not good that man should be alone. So the Godhead went down and they created a helper fit for him. And I want you to notice if you've ever read through Genesis chapter 2, where after God said this, he made Adam wait for that helper because he actually made him name all the animals first. So he had to go through and name all the animals, all the species. And then he's like, okay, now I'm going to put you to sleep. I'm going to take the rib, do surgery, and I'm going to create for you a helpmate, which is woman. And so this one flesh woman, when God brought, and I want you to know this was the first marriage, when God brought the woman to the man, and he said, at last, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. So all of you have been to weddings. And so when you go to a wedding, one of the final things they say is what God has joined together, let no man separate or put asunder. And so basically that is saying that this is a union divinely ordained by God, divinely given by God, and held together by God. And so without those three things taking place, marriage is just another contract. It's just like any other contract you would enter into or agreement in our world today. But see, we know that marriage is so much more, so much greater than that. And I think the reason so many people miss the greater picture of what marriage is supposed to be is because we see it just as a legal contract, one that we can break, one that we can toss away if things don't work out the way we hope they would. And so I want to give you another picture. I think this is probably one of the greater difficulties and problems we have in marriage and relationship today is we're not willing to wait for anything, including the person that God's planned for us to spend our life with. But God, all through Scripture, gives us a picture of waiting, godly waiting. And so if you look at Abraham and Sarah, she was like 90 years old before God gave her Isaac, the son of the promise, before that ever took place. And then you flash forward to Jacob and Rachel. Jacob ended up having to work for Laban 7 years in order to receive his bride. And then you look at the picture of the church as a whole, as Israel waited, we believe, somewhat 6,000 years for the Messiah to come. And so my encouragement for you, wherever you're at on that spectrum this morning, is that you wait patiently on God, because he has something amazing in store for your marriage. And if you're in a marriage this morning that's struggling or difficult, or things maybe don't work out the way you think they should, I want you to remember what Peter says. Peter says, everything we're doing is unto God. So even if you're in a difficult relationship or things are not going right in your relationship, remember that your marriage is first to him. Now, if your marriage is to Christ first, then he's going to work all those other things out. And so I want to encourage you with that this morning. We love you guys so much. And I want you to know that God is for you. He's not against you. He's for your marriage, and he wants it to work. And so I encourage you, listen in this morning or join us here at 10 o'clock. Since you got that whole extra hour of sleep, you should be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And we look forward to seeing you in worship this morning. Love you guys. Talk to you. God bless.